Okay, welcome. We're going to open up our meeting with a moment of silent meditation or prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to our June 24th council meeting. President Kisselback could not make the meeting, so I was stepping in for him tonight. I want to introduce the rest of our people that are here. We have Phil Worsta, our engineer, Debbie, our council secretary, Michelle Benitez, council, Joe Polari, council, and Stacy Champion, council, of course, the Honorable Mayor Joe DiGirolamo, and our solicitor Joe Pizzo. And I'm Joe Knowles, and I'll try to do the best I can to handle the meeting tonight. Okay, so we have public comment on agenda items only. So if you're here about a particular agenda, you could speak at the time that comes up, or you can speak now if you needed to go or something, but it's on agenda items only. Okay, seeing no one come forward, we'll close agenda items. Okay, number 4, approval of council minutes for the meeting May 20th, 2024. Anybody have any changes that they need? Anybody see any changes? Okay, seeing no changes, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Any abstain?
I abstain.
You're abstaining? Okay, so it's 3-0-1. Okay. Council's consideration of mayor's recommendation to the Veterans Advisory Board. Ms. Segan Patton. Mr. Mayor, do you have anything about Ms.
You
Patton?
have that in front of you.
Okay, yeah, we have her resume.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Miss Patton, that's correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's her resume. She's a veteran. She lives on Brown Avenue in our Bensalem section. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this appointment by the mayor?
And she's worked with our advisory board.
Yeah, she seems like she's really excellent person to help us out with the veterans. Okay, having no questions, does anybody want to make a motion that we approve Ms. Segan Patton to our Veterans Advisory Board?
I'll make a motion to approve Ms. Sagan Patton to the Veterans Advisory Board.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Any abstains? No. Okay. Number 6 on the agenda, consideration and public hearing on the ordinance vacating and abandoning a 10-foot alley on Clovernook Avenue between Bucks County tax map parcel 02061179 and Bucks County tax parcel 020611184. Okay, do you have this, Mr. Pizzo?
Is there anyone here on behalf of the applicant?
Yeah, is there anybody here that's on behalf of the applicant who asked this to be vacated? I think it's Cherry something, or? We'd have to get, no,
Cherry Premier Properties.
yeah, Cherry Premier Properties. We would have to have somebody here, right, Joe? Because we don't have proof that they sent out notices, right? Unless there's proof in here already.
I'm looking through the packet to see if there's anything in here to that effect.
It's got Pico and it's got... There was a notice in the paper. I don't know if that's good enough. As a copy of the last page.
I had anticipated that someone representing the entity applying for the vacation would be present this evening. So I you may want to table this, Mr.
Okay. Yeah, let's table this because looking it over, the guy owns both properties on each side, which is fine for him, but there's other neighbors that may be involved that may or may not.
Yes, the property owners on either side of the vacated portion still would have an interest.
Yeah, whether it gets
In
vacated.
the middle of
yeah.
the alley being vacated. There's no indication that they've
Okay.
been made aware or in agreement, so
Okay,
we should table this. You may want to ask if there's anybody in the audience who's here for it first.
Oh, yeah, is there anybody in the audience that's here to speak for or against this consideration of the vacating of this alley?
Then since it was advertised in the newspaper, you should table it to a date certain, so that way it won't have to be re-advertised.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to move this to a date certain? Our first meeting is July 8th.
I'll make a motion to table item number 6 regarding tax map parcel 02061184 to a date certain of July 8th.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay. Okay, so it's moved to July 8th. Now, we'll deal with that if we have to. It's right after the holiday, but hopefully we'll be doing that. Okay, next on the agenda number 7, consideration and signing of agreements for Charles Welk at 1430 Lavender Road, residential 4 lots. I guess this is just a land agreement, Joe, because we had to approve this a little while ago, right?
That's correct. Council approved the preliminary and final subdivision back in March of 2022. These are the land development agreements associated with that approved plan. They have been prepared by our office. They have been signed by the developer. They are in a form acceptable for your consideration and approval this evening. And my understanding is that all fees associated with these agreements have been posted with the township.
Okay, was my next question. Okay, so that's good. Okay, does anybody have any questions in reference to this four-house subdivision? I think it's Lavender and High. Okay, if there's no questions, anybody want to put a motion that we approve the signing of this agreement for our final land development?
I'll do it.
Okay, Ms. Champion will make a motion.
I put a motion into consideration and signing of agreements for Charles Welk at 1430 Lavender Road, tax parcel map 020321185 for attached agreements.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Before you call the vote,
Yes, no
Mr.
problem.
Thank you, Mr. Paizo.
Kisselback, it should be noted, it is in the agenda. I spoke only to agreements. There is also a deed of dedication in there as well. So just so that everyone is aware that together with voting on the agreement, you're also
And
voting to
stormwater
accept
best management practices
So
operation.
land development, stormwater management, and deed of dedication.
the deed of dedication for the rights of way.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that's on the record.
You don't need to ask him to do anything else,
No,
right?
no.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to
I'll amend my motion
Motion,
to
okay.
include land development improvements agreement, stormwater
Okay.
best
Is there a
management,
second?
and deed. Second.
Second, Ms. Benitez. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any against? Any abstains? Okay. Number 8, consideration of resolution for Act Number 537, Pennsylvania Sewage Facilities Plan Revision for a parcel land identified as 1,000 Imperial Court Industrial Facility. Mr. Paizo, this is pretty standard, I think, but you want to explain what this is?
No, you're correct, Mr. Knowles. This is standard. Whenever either a land development or a building permit is issued by the township that results in a change in use that may change the amount of sanitary sewer usage associated with the project, it's required that the township approve an amendment to its Act 537 plan. That's done by way of the resolution that's before you this evening. It's the standard form resolution that's required by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. It's been reviewed by the Building and Planning Department and by the township engineer. Everything appears to be in order. Is a form acceptable for your consideration and approval this evening?
Okay. Having said that, is there any questions for Mr. Paizo in reference to this?
I do have a question. I understand it's standard procedure. Just referencing the letter from Bucks County Water and Sewer on February 8th, they note that they're advising that the drainage area is currently under a hydraulic overload condition. DEP exemptions from projects with this drainage area are not eligible for Pennsylvania Department of Protection's exemptions. So I understand this is part of the standard practice. This will allow them to go to DEP in order to follow the next step in this process and get further approval through them, correct?
That is correct. In order for them to get relief from DEP under the moratorium and the capacity management plan that's in place for the Neshaminy Interceptor, it first requires the township's approval to the amendment to the Act 537 plan.
Thank
So
you.
you are correct, Ms. Benitez.
Wait, see here, see what it needs me to sign. Wait, pass this down. Do I sign it as for, okay. I'll get that in a second, okay. Okay, so we don't need to make it contingent upon that. That's an automatic thing that they'll have to do, right, Joe?
That's correct. The County Water and Sewer Authority, the Philadelphia Water Department, and the Department of Environmental Protection are the entities responsible for the capacity management plan. So all we have to do is sign off.
Okay, having said that, is there any other questions? Does anybody want to make a motion that we approve the,
I'll make a motion to approve item 8, consideration of resolution for Act number 537, PA Sewage Facilities Act, plan revision for parcel land and identified as 1000 Imperial Court Industrial Facility.
thank you, I forgot its proper title, thank you. Okay, is there a second?
This is the new agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstains? Okay, so it's 4-0. Okay, number 9, Faith Unity. I think that I see their attorney here or one of their representatives. Just so people know, we have an agenda, we have an item to extend the land development agreement, which we just did an agreement for somebody else, but this is their land development needs to be extended, so
Yeah.
you want to take it from there? or-
Briefly, yes. Just to give you a quick status report, as you probably noticed, last time we were here a year ago, we were bogged down because there was a failure of our drainage system. That has since been corrected. I'm hoping and told that we are moving through what is called Phase 1. You can see the progress out there. There's been some curbs put in, some grading. We've made an application for return of some escrow on the basis of completion. Coincidentally, I'm told that there's a meeting tomorrow morning with Mr. Neron about that application for return of some of the escrow for completion. We're also we'll be working on the PennDOT improvements, which are part basically of Phase 1, although of course regulated by PennDOT. And again, optimistically, we're looking towards completion of Phase 1, if not August, September, or somewhere in there. If you recall, this project has 2 phases. Once we get Phase 1 done, then we do Phase 2, which is the back of the property. We obviously need an extension because we can't get this project done by July 25th. And so I submitted with my application to you all a copy of the agreement, basically the same agreement that I had gotten from the township a couple times before. So you should have a copy of the extension agreement, extending it to July 25th, 27th, I think, 2025 already.
Okay, so you're asking for an extension of 1 year, which is kind of standard if you need it.
1 year, yes.
Okay, and then do you believe that Phase 1 will be done at that point? I mean, we think,
I hope so.
I hope so.
I
Okay.
hope so.
You have made some progress there, so that.
We have made
that's
some
good.
progress, and we've gotten the matter back on track. And the problem of the last year, as I said, that the drainage system that we thought we were going to use didn't work. It didn't whatever, the water flow was incorrect, and we had to go out and have our people redesign the system and change it and so forth. And that has been, I understand it, installed. Mr. Engineer's shaking his head. That has been installed, and we're moving on to the parking lot and the curbs and so forth.
Okay. And Mr. Neron, when he goes out, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it about the returning the escrows and
right,
whether it's
right.
justified. Okay, right now, we're doing the land development extension for a year. It looks like they have made progress, which is good. That's what we wanted, at least I wanted to see. Does anybody have any questions in reference to this? Okay, no questions. Does somebody want to make a motion that we grant the extension for 1 year for the Faith Unity, Richelieu and Galway roads?
Make the motion that we approve the land development extension agreement for Faith Unity, Inc., Richelieu and Galloway Roads, tax parcel 02-001-055-022.
Okay, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, good luck, okay?
All the best.
Continued luck and blessing, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
It's like you're
Nice seeing you.
getting there. Okay, then we, should, do I sign this and cross out his name?
No, don't cross his name
Oh,
out.
get him to sign it later. Here you go.
No.
I'll just sign it, okay.
You sign it, I'll take care of your name.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. There he is. I thought I saw you. I was like, what happened to him? I think he left.
I'm just getting ready.
Okay. All right. We have a couple escrow agreements. Okay, so escrow requests. Okay, so consider it, number 10, consideration of escrow releases. The first one is Raising Cane's. Escrow release number 2, revised 3613 Horizon Boulevard. They're asking for $69,136.43. Okay?
Good
Is the
evening.
name of the place Raising Cane's or Raising Cane?
I think it's Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten there yet, so I have no
I don't
idea.
think it's a plural in the Cane's.
It's fine. Oh,
That's just,
okay.
Central Philadelphia is CENTRAL, in case anybody was interested.
Saw that. All right, so again, like you said, this is escrow release number 2. We did revise this because of the dates of the council meeting being postponed at the last agenda. This is pretty much just closing out the project. We had some landscape issues, which have been revised and approved, as well as some questions concerning the storm sewer inlets, which has also been approved by our office. So we were recommending release of the escrow of $69,136.43.
Okay. Okay, and pretty much that you checked everything and everything's done?
Everything's 100% done.
Okay. All right, so it seems like it's done. They've been open and functioning for a while now.
I'll make a
Okay,
motion.
You want to make a motion? Yeah.
Sure, for escrow release number 2, revise for Raising Cane's.
It's Raising Cane, but that's right.
No, it's Raising Cane's.
Is it Cane's? What
It is Cane's.
Okay.
It's actually Raising Cane's apostrophe S, C-A-N-E
Okay.
apostrophe S.
There you go.
Mr. Pizzo to the rescue there. For an amount to be confirmed by the finance office, currently suggested at $69,136.43. Am I missing anything else, Mr. Pizzo?
Audited by the finance.
Audited by the finance department.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay, so this would close out per our engineer's advice and would be audited by our finance department. $69,136.43, bringing their amount to zero. All in favor? Aye. Any against? Okay, that's good. Okay, you got one more, right?
Yes, this is escrow release number 4 for Gibson Holdings at 1515 Gibson Road. They were requesting $26,037.50, which we have approved $24,630 for this release request.
Okay, and then we still have $82,186.78,
Correct.
because this one's not as far along for sure. Okay, does anybody have any questions about what the release is for, or we'll I guess we have enough funds to take care of whatever they need to do, right?
Yes, one of the things, the erosion control blanket, there's still they need to do some of that on Lot 6, which that lot's not under construction yet, so we pulled that money back. Also with the traffic control, speaking with PennDOT and reviewing the status of their project, they still need to do some road work out there, so we held that money back as well.
Okay. So we have Gibson Holdings LLC, released at $24,630, bringing the total to $82,186.78. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion for tax parcel map 2-54-5 for Gibson Holdings LLC, release number 4, in the amount of $24,630 to be audited by the Finance Department.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against?
No.
Okay. Okay, public comment, okay? And thank you for waiting. I'm sorry, at least you were sitting down with your bad leg, but public comment is open, so go ahead, ma'am.
I want to thank you, and
Can you identify yourself first so we can?
my name is Rebecca Calagreco. I'm originally from Langhorne. I'm a Council Rock graduate, and I currently live in Havertown. So I'm going to ask you to be patient and just bear with me. So I know how hard you work, and I know that you are good people. And in a second, I'm going to tell you why I know you're good people. First of all, when I was living in Bensalem, I would see the mayor frequent some of the breakfast places with some of the local business people, and he specifically took the time to talk to me. Back in the summer of 2022, I lived in Franklin Commons, right down the road. So I'm going to try and condense this and get to my point as fast as I can. How the township and the police are not over there ticketing the cars that take up 2 places and are not fining that management company for the garbage, I'll never understand it. In that summer of 2021 with the storm, I know you've got bigger fish to fry, and I know that that tornado, the hurricane, there was an awful lot of damage. I lived on the first floor. I had to move again. That management company, they took the carpet out. I had 3 weeks left. I lived with no carpet. They left the carpet on the front lawn for 3 to 4 weeks. Moved to another place in Bensalem. The summer of 2022, my husband and I were in the process of moving to Havertown. He had rented a place. We found a place with the housing after COVID. None of this was easy. And no, I don't blame any of you for what I'm going to ask, get your opinion, get your suggestion, because I do think the solicitor back in the day somebody emailed me back. We were in the process of moving in May 2022. My husband Lou was diagnosed with glioblastoma in June 2022, and he died December 2022. And I know you're good people because you were up the road with me. I was the speaker at the Darren Dalton Foundation. All right? So you were there supporting, and if I would have even had the time, I have spent the last 2 years, this last year working 4 jobs before he passed, 6 months of taking care of him and paying bills. I coach gymnastics. The bill from the collections, from Keystone Collections, I have the statement and the date, so I'm going to get to my point. This is now paid. To this day, I still think this is a mistake. My husband had someone do the taxes. When I got the taxes done in February, that tax place, The guy told me there was something that they didn't accept and oh, we'll just ignore it from Pennsylvania. Well, I can't ignore anything. Something went wrong, either on a W-2, a W-4, or living in Bensalem. This is for a delinquent earned income tax for $1,600. This is now paid. It has taken me this long to try and finish up and get my act together after losing him. It has not been easy. I am asking someone, this has been paid. I don't have the paid receipt. I'm asking the solicitor or the mayor, and not the mayor's secretary, who would email me back when I asked the mayor to email me, to contact them for me and say, it's paid, please fix her credit. There was a point, something's going on and I can't figure out what it is. I'm asking someone, Keystone, I don't know what happened. I spent an hour on the phone today with my boss, with the payroll, to make sure those pay stubs were correct now. I wish I knew what happened. The old address was still from Oriole Drive, from Franklin Commons. It never got changed, and I am here to ask, someone call a supervisor there, email them. This is from this township. So someone here has to know who to contact to say, she paid it, just see, can you fix her credit? Or I'm asking someone to please just email me and say, I'm going to call them for you, or I'm going to email them for you. I have tried several times to get down here over the last couple months.
Okay, ma'am, it shouldn't be too difficult to, and I'm sorry you had these problems, but if you give Debbie your information, the mayor certainly would do it, and we'll have our director of finance call Keystone and confirm
I
that.
can give you, this is what I have. It's got the account
Okay,
number.
well, she can write the information down. And then we can have our director of finance contact them and make sure that it was correct to begin with, and then make sure that they acknowledge that it was paid, and make sure that they know it was an error, so anything derogatory will.
Again, I'm not sure, because I was living in Bensalem and it's an earned income tax. So at some point, it became a mess.
Yeah, we can find out, though. Mayor, do you have anything you want to? Go ahead, Joe.
Well, your suggestion is what I was about to say.
I'm
If
sorry,
you- if-
I'm hearing impaired. I
if-
have my
and-
ears in, but with the acoustics.
Is that an original or is that?
This is an original. This isn't the paid bill, but it has the.
Can you make a copy of that? Ms. McBreen will make a photocopy of that. And then tomorrow, I'll get in touch with the finance manager, as Mr. Noel suggested, and we'll reach out to Keystone. Understand that under the,
Ma'am, I'm going to write my email on.
go ahead, put your contact
I'm
information
sorry,
on there.
I'll write my email on it. I'm sorry, sir.
And a phone number.
Is she having trouble with her credit? Is that what she's saying?
Sounds like it.
It's my last name, 835@msn.com. I don't know if I.
So pursuant to the state earned income tax laws, there's a single earned income tax collector for the entire county. It's not chosen by the township, it's not chosen by the voters, it's a company that's chosen by the county. And the township really has no involvement on a day-to-day basis with the collection of the earned income tax. Similar to real estate taxes, those are all handled by the elected tax collector. So what we'll do is I'll get together with the finance manager. We may have to bring you in as well, because certain aspects of your tax records are private, and the township doesn't have necessarily have access to them. So we may need to bring you in as well. But give us an opportunity to take a look and see if we can find out where the disconnect is. And we'll get in touch with you tomorrow and let you know what we find.
I appreciate it, and I think that's a good word, disconnect. I don't know. And even trying to go back to the original gentleman who did the taxes, finding out after the fact that my husband still owed him a little bit of money. So that's probably from 2021, 2022. I don't know what it has on there. So it has been a mess. And at some point, that's why I'm here. Can somebody who knows the township and knows how this works a little better than I at least look into it?
Is this the first time that you approached my office? I haven't heard about it.
I contacted your secretary many times when I was living in Franklin Commons.
Okay, well, and I don't want to speak for the attorney, but in a worst-case scenario, we're going to make sure confirm that you're paid, okay? And that it does, and try to make sure that it hasn't affected you in a negative way if it was a mistake on someone's part or whatever.
It has
Okay,
affected
so
my credit.
that's the least we'll do, okay? And it's a possibility, like Mr. Pizzo said, if we talk to them and they can figure out why it was owed or why it was not owed, then we might have to get some documents from you or something, and then we'll try to help you the best we can to see if you're owed any money back or anything we can do. Yeah, we'll get something done. John Jankowski, our finance guy, is very good, okay, and I'm sorry you didn't get to more. And I get calls about this, and other council people get calls about this and that, and we have to call John and say, hey, John, can you call them? There's a business privilege tax that handles that. There's a Keystone, and we get questions and people, and he investigates, gets us the documentation, we present it to the people, and we get back to them. But I'm sorry about your husband's passing, and we're going to try to make this, straighten this out for you.
I appreciate it, and yes, I'm upset, and this is starting to be able to finish everything. And Mr. Mayor, I think it was in terms of the horrific management at Franklin Commons. So I think there were other people, maybe the solicitor and the finance that I had emailed, and I think one of the questions was this a valid bill? I didn't even know what it meant, and that had been right before or right after he passed. This may be the first time about this, but not to other members. But I appreciate it. That's why I don't know what I'm doing. I work in a completely different, this is not my forte, and
No, even if it is your forte, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. And when you're dealing with people like this, it's frustrating getting on the phone.
it's very
You know,
frustrating.
it's very bad.
After I particularly had perfect credit and something's still wrong, and I can't figure out what the issue is.
We'll see if we can help you with it, and maybe if there's interest or fines or something, we can get it backed off or something, or maybe there's a mistake. We'll try to figure out the best we can. Okay, so Debbie, you have her contact information?
Ma'am, do you want me to write my phone number on it as well?
Yeah.
I
And then-
appreciate it, and if you will excuse me.
And the mayor's office will get back to you tomorrow, or John Jankowski's office, our finance director.
This is the first one because there were fines. So this is what I have with the account number. This is what I could find before I left. This is exactly what the other bills look like. This is exactly, but I think they may have charged a late fee or something, but this is exactly what the bills look like. I didn't, and I wound up, they stopped coming.
Yeah, John will be able to figure it out. We'll be able
Would you
to-
mind confirming your current address? I don't believe your current address is on that document.
Does it
If
say
it's as
22?
simple as getting you an updated statement mailed to your correct address.
Okay. And that is part of the disconnect, the moving with the flood that happened over in Franklin Commons. I do appreciate it. And if you will excuse me, I've got a bit of a drive back to Havertown, so I am going to excuse myself.
Sorry we had to come out for this, but we're going to try to look into this for you and see if we can help you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to come up for public comment?
Hello, council. How are you?
Good.
Mind if I put these in the center while I talk?
What is it?
So these are golf balls for the Bensalem Country Club.
Okay.
My name's Brandon Mattingly. I reside at 2719 on Huonville Road next to Style Studio. I'm a newer resident, just purchased my home. I always wanted to be in Bensalem. Built a gorgeous house, gorgeous lot. I love everything about it. I love seeing the golf course. But at the same time, I purchased a house not on a golf course. I purchased it across the street from a golf course. This has been ongoing since I moved in. It's getting worse and worse. You talk to the country club, can't get anywhere. They say it's a golfer's responsibility. We had an incident yesterday, as recent as yesterday, which kind of prompted me. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going, we had an issue yesterday. A golfer hit a ball sitting out front, hits the wife's car. Literally go out. I see who was on the tee box. I go out, try to get the info. I get the guy. I call the clubhouse. I'm like, hey, can you guys send a ranger out? Nah, we're busy right now. I'm like, no, the procedure is I'm supposed to call you, because this has been going on now, and every time I get a different answer. Depends on who you're talking to over there, it's a different answer. Well, you need to get the golfer, and you got to get the info. No, why am I getting the info? It's not my golfer. I get that it's the golfer's responsibility, but somebody's responsible. It's just crazy. I just had a 2-year-old birthday party with 100 people at the house, and a golf ball comes over and lands right in the middle of my backyard. Now, my backyard's a ways away. There's no way. You know what I mean? Something's got to be done. Somebody's going to get hurt. And the town and the country club just says, oh, well, it's been like this forever. And they even said yesterday, I talked to Matt, the gentleman Matt, we were going at it on the phone yesterday. And, Bensalem Police came out. We've been doing police reports. I've been talking to the mayor's office. I've been dealing with the lady that's, I guess, the secretary. What's her name? I forget her name. Dawn. I was talking to her, went back and forth. She never called me back. I called again with another issue, never heard a word back. I just can't get anywhere. And yesterday was, the final straw. Police department comes out. I was going to call for a police report. A Bensalem cop happened to be driving by. I was standing up to the fence. The golfer was cool. Hey, listen, sorry, it was me, whatever. Then I call them and they go, well, that's your responsibility. You got to get the info. Why am I getting the info? It's got nothing to do with me. It's your golfer. So then Bensalem Police comes out, they take a report, and then, basically at this point, I'm like, okay, well, are you guys going to go get the info of the golfer? Well, no. Okay, so now I leave my house, I go over to the country club, and I call over, and then Matt, like I said, I went over respectfully. I didn't go over yelling or nothing. I said, hey, listen, cart 77, I need that golfer's information. And we're going back and forth, and he wants to talk, legality and this and that, and then, I just told him, I said, I'm here to get the golfer's info and what's going on. And, the cop I dealt with, I gave him the incident number because he didn't believe me. I got a police report that quick. And then next thing you know, he calls the cops. The cops show back up at the Township Country Club. And, Matt says that he's going to talk to the officer about the law, that he doesn't know the law. I'm like, listen, I'm not here for that. I just want my vehicle fixed, and that's it. I mean, my wife, drives an $80,000, vehicle. The whole side's dented up with golf balls. It's ruthless. I got a $100,000 Corvette sitting out in the driveway getting ready to leave, and that gets hit on the back fin. That's in damage, over $5,000 worth of damage. I got another truck sitting in my yard, another $95,000 truck. That keeps getting hit. This is out of control, and the township doesn't want to do nothing about it. They say, oh, well, we're out of it. You bought a house.
Let me address this, Joe. I'm well aware of this problem. Our next step is to move the hole.
They're moving the hole, yes.
Number 11, I think it is.
Yes, number
I'm not a
11.
golfer, I go there.
Correct, yeah, and they have told me that. They said that that's been in the works, and
we're in a stage of moving that, of getting prices. It's up over $600,000 to move a hole, one hole. So that's where we're going to solve the problem. There's no other way to solve it other than put a big net up across the street. And they don't seem to work in time, the net, so moving the hole is going to be our move, and that's what we're working on right now. And hopefully we can get that done this year.
And I was about to say, do we have a time frame on that? Like I said, I'm not
Yeah,
one to
we're-
normally complain, but that bucket you're seeing is a month and a half's worth.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
That's
I golf.
amazing. I would never
I golf.
believe
And
that.
listen, I'm not the greatest, and I golf
Yeah.
on that course. And I literally went to go golf that course. I never played till I lived in the township. I'm like, you know, let me go play this hole. I want to see what this hole's all about. I'm not the greatest golfer, and
Yeah, it's a pretty poor
I don't,
shot.
you gotta be, you know, pretty good. And when you come to 11th hole, you're drinking already, you know what I mean? And these people are, I mean, they're hitting the windows, you know, my kids out back playing, they're landing in my backyard. I came
How
home
about
today,
your
there's two in the
neighbors? Are they
backyard.
getting it? The
What?
neighbors getting it too?
Yeah, so the Style Studio gets it really good, and that's what kind of intensifies it, because usually they hit the pavement and then they go. And, I mean, we were out there with a contractor a couple weeks ago, just standing on the side. Next thing you know, a ball came through and, you know, ricocheting off everybody's car. I went to go cut the grass, and one ball, I didn't see it in the yard. I literally have to walk the yard to make sure. One came out, shot, and hit their customer's car, dented the whole side of the door. You know, so I'm the one that's liable for all this, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm getting nothing in return. It's like I'm just, you know, I'm on dead ears there. I'm talking to people, I'm trying to make calls, and it's like, you know, I don't want to be a nudge, but at the same time, it's like, you know, this is costing me money, and it's not fair to me. You know, I want to go get my wife a brand new car, and I don't want to go get her a new car because it's going to get destroyed.
Well,
So-
hopefully and like you said, it's pretty, not to be funny, but it's a pretty poor shot, you know what I mean? But
I agree.
It's not that far, you know, but I'm left-handed,
Yeah.
I can't do it. But the thing.
I'm lefty.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we put a couple trees there, by the time they grow, the hole's gonna be moved, you know what I mean? It's
Agreed.
not gonna block anything, and it'll go over it and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a fence there already, so I mean, so the thing is, the hole's gotta be moved.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's,
No question, that's what has to
it's going to be
Yeah.
pointed the other way towards 18, but the problem, why it's so expensive is, to move the hole, you got to move the 18th,
The
you know,
green, too.
The green, you know, where you drive.
I
the tee box.
understand. And
So you got to
listen-
move the tee box.
I'm not unrealistic as long as we have a resolution and I have some answers, because nobody's been able to give me that answer. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm good. I couldn't get any answers, and I'm like, you know what? I need to go and be heard, and I'm here. So listen, I just thank you for the opportunity
John,
to
we
come out and
talk about-
speak. And
This has been on top of our list of all the other things over there that we're trying
Yeah.
to straighten out.
We could talk about like what I mean, I know it's the golfer's responsibility, but I don't know, like.
Well, it actually is.
It is,
But how are you going to catch them?
Yeah, exactly.
well, like I
They have
said,
to-
when they told us, oh, you need the golfer. Okay, no problem. We put a camera up. You know, my wife's out there with a video camera, you know, literally on her phone, getting the people, and they're like, oh, there's nothing we can do. We don't know it's that guy. You know, so they kind of turn the blind eye to it, which is what I don't like, you know what I mean? Now, a couple times, like I said, it depends who you get. Some people are good. Hey, they send a ranger out. It's very, you know, it's cool. But then, you know, yesterday I dealt with Matt. That was the first time. Very unprofessional. Crazy. I was like, listen, how would you like it if somebody, you know, was hitting your vehicle? Would you be upset? And he's like, my car's right out in the parking lot. Come on, man. You got to be professional. I'm a neighbor here. You know, I'm a good sport about it. You know, hey, listen, I do kind of understand where I bought my house, but at the same time, you know, 1, 2 balls, you know, hey, you know, incident here, okay. But I mean, it's every day. I mean, my windows are getting hit, my capping on my house is all dented up. I mean, it's crazy. So I'm okay. As long
Yeah,
as we
we'll
have a
have to-
resolution, I'm good. So,
Yeah, we'll ask about your situation, how you were treated, and also, we'll make sure, we'll keep you abreast of what's going on with the hole,
all right.
okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Hi, just real quick, I want to, Donna Sponheimer Smith. This is my son-in-law. I can just confirm, I have been at that house, and inside the house, when that hits the window, it's hit the window upstairs more than once. At the birthday party, zoop, right across the backyard, and there was 2 little kids, I think they were 6 years old, I don't know, they were little kids there, just missed hitting that kid. I left the birthday party that night, and I parked in the studio right next door, and there was 3 of them sitting.
I
my thing.
I
It's-
think John had it right.
Right.
I think it hits the parking lot or the
Right.
road. and
But
then
the
bounces
problem
in
is,
the
one
air.
of these days, it's going to hit my granddaughter, or it's going to
Yeah,
hit me,
it's-
or it's going to
it's
hit
not-
one of
well,
us. The
yes,
car,
it's-
the dents in the car are
It hits
horrible.
cars that are driving down the road, too.
They
which is
probably shouldn't have
dangerous,
taken
too.
those trees down until they were sure they were getting everything else done. That may have solved part of the problem.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure, we're gonna get the hole moved, and it'll be pointed in a different direction. You
Right.
shouldn't have that problem.
All right, I just, I told him come over because this is getting, I've talked to you before, it just, nothing seems to be getting,
We actually had it in the budget to do that, and
Right.
then, but we didn't realize how much
Understand,
it
Joe.
was, you know what I mean? So we had a
Right.
certain hundreds of thousands to do it, and it ends
I
up
get
being-
that. I completely
it ends up
understand
being
that,
a lot
but in
more,
the same
so-
respect, he bought this house, they want to be in this community, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, a golf ball here and there, everybody understands that. I think when they bought the house, I kept saying that to him. But the amount of golf balls that come over, it's ridiculous. And if they get the name or they call over there, then the information should be given to them so they can follow through if it's supposed to be the liability from the golfer. So somewhere along the line, I think somewhere here in the township needs to let the people at the golf course know they have to follow up on that.
Okay. All right, thanks
Thanks,
for
Joe.
coming out. I'm sorry
Appreciate it.
about
Bye,
your
guys.
situation.
I can fundraise if you need. I can sell balls, whatever we need to do, I'll fundraise, whatever.
I have St. Charles School golf outing coming out. You can sell balls.
Yeah, no
It's
problem.
like me, I don't golf, so I never golf.
Thank you, Council.
It's horrible. This house is pretty far away. It's bouncing. Is there anybody else for public comment? Yeah, come on up.
Hello, my name is Marisol Paban, and I always lived in Philly. I moved to Bensalem 2 years ago. I live across the street from Catherine Drexel,
Okay.
the church, 908 Langstroth Lane. Ever since I moved there, there's been nothing but vandalism, broken windows, theft, people in front of the house. They go up the hill, so we call the police. The police, they chop trees down, put them on the hill. Now they go behind, they park, they steal, all hours of the night. I see them when I get up in the morning.
You're on Stratham?
I'm on Langstroth,
Oh, Lattistraw.
right across the street from Catherine Drexel. There's
Okay.
only about 3 or 4 houses there.
Okay.
My brother's next door to me. We all work. I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning so I can water my plants before I go to work. People coming out, drug dealers coming out, running the street. And I get home from work and I see the cars, they park on Tyson Ave, and then they walk over to steal. This happens all the time. I've been there 2 years. I lived across the street from Franklin Mills for 20 years. I never saw that much vandalism as I've seen there on Langstroth Lane.
Yeah, Langstroth,
I just
yeah.
want to know if there's a plan, because I moved
Yeah,
there and the church sold. I heard how great it was because my sister lives across the street on Kings Ave, and my brother lives next door, and it was very quiet. And of course, I moved there 2 years ago, and it all went down.
Well, they're dealing with this all the time, but
And I want to know, I mean, I'm standing on my porch and kids are breaking windows.
Let me address it the best I can, because I just talked to her attorney on Thursday. Our solicitor was with me. We talked to them about this. It breaks my heart, because that's very
It's a
sacred to me.
beautiful area.
I knew St. Catherine. I actually knew her. So it breaks my heart. And they've never settled on that property. They're equitable owners, the people that have it. And their lawyer was in this week with us. We're talking about it, the vandalism. We have our police down there. We try to do everything we can. It's just, it's impossible. I mean, we just can't have, they should have security on their grounds.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to tell them. And between them being equitable owners and the sisters still have not sold it completely. It's never been settled. So I'm telling you, nobody's more upset over this than I am.
It just breaks my heart that it was a beautiful area, and 2
And
years
God
ago I moved
forbid.
there, and I said, why did I move from where I was to move into Bensalem? Because I thought it was nice.
It was a beautiful place, and we had
I get
beautiful
home
plans.
today, it was my day off, so I go shopping, I come home, there's a car parked right off my lawn. So
My
I'm
God,
looking at the car, because I'm gonna take a
and by the time you
picture so I
call the
can
police,
have,
They're
but
gone when you call the police?
they usually do come. They
We've
usually
caught
do
quite a
come.
few, but I know you're
I
just not
mean,
gonna,
there's been pictures taken and everything,
yeah.
because they go in there and I'm afraid because my husband
Last Thursday on this very topic and on this very problem, and I'd like to be able to bring you in as a resource.
I just want to know if there is a plan, if there's going to be anything done, or is it something that I'm going to have to put my house up and move? As much as I love the house,
No, don't do that. Just stay in touch with us as much as you can. As soon as you call 911, that, when you can. But we'll have to get them to put
and
somebody.
sometimes I'm afraid because
There has to be
when
somebody.
I saw the car on Tyson Ave, they saw me. So if the cops come, they're gonna say, it was that lady.
No,
She called. It's the only house there,
They won't say that.
especially when my husband's working and I'm there by myself.
I hear you loud and clear. I'm telling you, I'm feared of that place. Every day. We have our people go down there. They check, you know that. You guys go down there. They go in for our building and planning. They go in and out. They drive around. They try to look. It's impossible, that place. Somebody has to be there all the time. I mean, it's so big.
It's a big property,
You
and it's
get
a shame,
inside
because it's
there
a
and-
beautiful property,
Yeah.
but it is
Yeah.
going downhill. And then I'm afraid that it's gonna bring the whole area down, because everybody knows about it. And that happens at all hours of the night.
And the nuns still have responsibility there. They still have some responsibility on that place, and it breaks my heart. It just,
I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the
that
morning, and they're
chapel-
coming out with their backpacks. I'm like, and they're like, oh, we're just trying to get some information on this Catherine Drexel Church. What? At 6 o'clock in the morning?
the nuns, you mean?
Okay, give Debbie your information
Of course.
and,
Yes. Of course I will. Mm-hmm.
well, he's got to put his own security down there. Okay, is there anybody else that needs to come up for public comment? Okay. Yeah, she's welcome to if she's,
No.
Oh, my.
I don't know,
It
I
wasn't
don't
on the
think.
agenda.
Deb? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Deb, was there supposed to be an award or something for tonight?
Mary Ann Griffin and Frankie Karen. Thank you. Yeah, because Mara would have been here.
Yeah, they said that they were canceling because.
No, but it's drug and alcohol. It's a drug and alcohol. Drug and alcohol. Is it the poster contest for?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought she was here for like a civic project or something, you know what I mean? Like to observe or something, you know?
I didn't get a new date. I know that it was, so,
They said that they were gonna cancel it until their time on vacations, everything going on, and then maybe some other time, I think the beginning of the school year or something.
I don't know.
If they would be here.
Apparently, it was supposed to be June 10. June 10 meeting was canceled, and they were told that it was going to be rescheduled to tonight, through the school board.
Well, Steph McMahon, I don't know if you know who she is, I don't know. No, I don't know that. No.
My order's on there, and I did not get notice.
No.
They would be here too, and I think someone in your school maybe.
Yeah, I would say,
Supervisor of Education, Shannon McMahon,
Shannon,
She works for the school district, I think, you know? But,
the Dr. Mark said she couldn't make it tonight, and asked me to take pictures with everyone. And I said, okay.
yeah. I would say normally with these types of recognitions, they would follow along with the school year, just because most of the families and children can't participate during the summer.
When it happened,
Right.
and they said that this meeting got, was there one scheduled on June 10th?
Yes, that got, can't, yeah. So I'm thinking if they are rescheduling, it's likely going to be the beginning of the school year is what I'm saying,
Yes, that's what I was told.
unfortunately. But again, we weren't provided any information on this update, so.
Why don't you at least come up, and you're here, it's public comment.
Do you have your poster?
Yes.
We'd like to recognize you.
Come on up, Peyton.
Come on up here,
Hey, come in, at least say your name, and
and we can congratulate you.
Deb, get her a mic where she can.
Oh,
You'll get,
I would give it
we'll
to
get
her,
you a gift
okay?
card, honey.
I thought you were a little too excited to
What's
be
your
here.
name, hon? What is your name, honey?
My name's Peyton Thomas.
Hi,
Peyton Thomas. Okay, I have a niece, Peyton, a great niece. I have a great niece, Peyton. What school do you go to?
Cornwell's Elementary School.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
5th going into 6th.
5th going into 6th. Now that's still 6, is
That's
that
still
still 5th
Cornwell's.
grade? That's still Cornwell's, right?
Well, I'm going to Struble though because I'm in the gifted program.
Ah, okay,
Congratulations.
good.
Thank you.
She's going to Struble for what?
Gifted program.
Oh, the gifted program, that's good.
Thank you.
That's great, honey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See-
Congratulations. Can we shake your hand?
You're the only one that can keep your schedule, that's why you're gifted.
Can you,
Come on up.
Wow.
Peyton, can you tell us something you learned in the DARE program?
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you, sweetheart. All right, good job.
Thank you, congratulations.
When you're done shaking Mr. Pizzo in there, can you say something about what you learned?
From DARE. Yeah, let us know if you learned something from DARE, honey. Appreciate you.
Who was your DARE officer?
I think it had Doc or something, a mall.
And what did you learn?
During DARE, I learned a lot of stuff, what's in a cigarette, and I learned a lot of why alcohol and drugs and all of that stuff is bad for you, and we learned how it could affect your body, and we learned a lot of how many people die a year from drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes.
Right.
Wonderful.
That's good.
Well, I can't wait to see your poster.
Yeah, once you
Yeah.
poster.
Hopefully, your family will bring you back when we get this all straightened out, and you can get your gift card.
It's good. You're only in 5th grade, but it's good that people are telling you, smoking's really bad and vaping's really bad. So you learn that, And then when you get older, when people expose you to other stuff and you know right away, hey, wait a minute, this is not good. You know what I mean? You get mostly important from your parents, but it's good. It's reinforced. But if you're in a gifted program, so you're going to be smart enough to stay away from that stuff, So. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, honey. I'm sorry for the missed schedule. Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate you watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Peyton.
We have to get a gift card for her. Little kids that can sit around for me.
Congratulations again. Have a great summer. See you in September. We hope.
Okay, anybody else for public comment? And Deb, you have the people from Longstrof's information? You have their information? Longstrop. That's actually Mother Catherine Dressel's sister's name.
Marisol?
Yes. That street
See,
was
you
named after
belong
her.
here in Bensalem.
So hopefully you'll be kept safe because of that, But,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We all love that property. and it's
Yes.
important to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing those concerns.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
My husband and I are working so hard in this house, and we're like, we have to put it up, just move again.
No.
No,
You have our full support.
We keep being told it's soon, but, it's getting a little tiring.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I moved to Bensalem in 2014 to my brother's house. And I said, wow, Marisol is such a beautiful place. Come on, move over here. So she ended up buying, and then this happened.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It'll be beautiful again. You wait and see.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, we have to continue saying prayers to Mother Catherine Drexel. I can't call her saint. Can you? I can't call her saint. I just call her Mother Catherine.
You can call her both. You can call her Saint Mother Catherine.
I just call her Mother Catherine. Kids call her saint.
So I was watering my front again, and I see a lady with a stroller, and she was gonna go in there, because she said her aunt was buried there, she was one of the nuns, and she wanted to take flowers, and I said, please don't. There's cops circling in there now, because a bunch of kids went in there. I said, so turn around and go back, don't go in there. It's sad.
Thank you.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, hopefully that gets done sooner than later. I have two great aunts buried there, so,
Were they nuns?
yeah, the first nuns at St. Catherine's were my great aunts. Yeah. The first, out of the first 20 from Ireland. Yeah, that's why my great grandmother moved here, to be on Station Avenue. And so we've been involved with, yeah, we wouldn't be here otherwise. You could blame Mother Catherine for me being here. But, yeah, so that's, 1907, my great-grandmother moved here to be next to her sisters. Yeah. But, okay, nobody else except, you don't have anything to say, right, do you? Quentin, you have anything to say? You okay?
He just wants to stay.
Okay, with that, we'll close public comment. Close public comment. Does anybody have any other business? Phil, you have anything? No, sir. Deb, you okay? Mr. Pizzo, do you have anything?
Yes, I have two matters of litigation that I need to brief council on. If we could have an executive session immediately following tonight's meeting. It should only take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops.
Okay, we can pop right into council's.
No, we can go right in, yeah. No official action will be required. And as I said, it's regarding two matters of pending litigation.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, do you have anything?
No, just a happy 4th of July coming up, everybody.
It's crazy, June.
Hopefully, we have good times. Wasn't a good meeting tonight for me to hear all our problems that continue to be problems and trying to solve them, but we'll get it done. It's Bensalem, we'll get it done.
Okay, so, yeah, we're here for people to have the opportunity to be here and let us know. Ms. Benitez, do you have anything?
Happy 18th birthday to my daughter Gianna. She turns 18 on the 26th, so happy birthday to her. And this year we're celebrating 248 years of independence. But in 2 years, it's going to be 250 years, and that's pretty huge. So let's keep it, and let's plan ahead for what's to come in 2026. There's going to be a lot of celebrations. I'm hearing a lot with the economic development organizations, the chambers, and historical societies working on some really great plans for what's to come in 2026 to celebrate. That's all.
That's good. Mr. Polari, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. Miss Champion, do you have anything?
Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday to my daughter who turns her sweet 16. Some days we wonder as a teenager. I just want to say what an amazing thing that was accomplished last week. I wasn't able to attend in person. I attended via phone. I'm very proud of all the work that was put in by everybody for the consolidation, and I'm looking forward to seeing continued great things. We have some of the best first responders in the state between police, fire, and EMS, both volunteer on our fire side and paid. So we're very, very blessed to be in this township. And with that being said, enjoy the concert on Wednesday night, and have a good one. Be safe next week.
Yeah, and I would just add, reiterate happy 4th of July. I can't believe it's the 4th of July, and that's, it is, I saw that 2026. They're trying to have Congress meet in Philadelphia where they had the Constitution. And it'll be the third time in our history that they met outside Washington since D.C. So if all of Congress meets there, you better stay away because the traffic's going to be pretty bad. But that'd be really cool if it happens. I hope it does happen.
Maybe 95 will be done.
Yep, yeah, or have the right sign. Okay, with that, we'll make a motion to close, and we have an quick executive session following. Thank you. And I'll sign it.